It's one of the oldest insults in the English language. Bastard. Today, we use it to mean a cruel person, a scoundrel. But behind the insult lies 1,000 years of history, of kings and conquerors, of law and religion, of stigma and survival. Please subscribe to watch more interesting stories. The word arrives in English in the 1200s, borrowed from Old French. Scholars trace it to a simple image, a child conceived on a makeshift bed, a bast, a pack saddle while traveling. In medieval Latin, the word appears as bastardus. It was never just an insult. It was a label, a legal status, a fate. Historian Sarah McDougall, in her book Royal Bastards, The Birth of Illegitimacy, 800–1230, uncovers a surprising truth. In early medieval Europe, bastardy wasn't always a barrier. Charles Martel, grandfather of Charlemagne, ruled despite being born outside marriage. But between the 9th and 13th centuries, everything changed. The Catholic Church insisted that only children born within marriage were legitimate. Monarchs embraced the rule. By branding rivals as bastards, they could deny them thrones and inheritance. By 1230, the label had hardened into law and into stigma. In England, the Statute of Merton in 1235 declared, "He is a bastard that is born before the marriage of his parents." It was blunt. It was final. By the 18th century, jurist William Blackstone still called bastards children of no one, filius nullius. But bastardy wasn't just a problem for kings. In 18th century London, parish officers tracked down fathers, issuing bastardy bonds to make them pay support. In Virginia, the colonies did the same. Records survive, showing signatures of men compelled by law to acknowledge children born outside wedlock. Then came the harshest blow. In 1834, Britain's New Poor Law introduced the bastardy clause. Fathers were freed of responsibility. Mothers carried the burden alone. Protests followed, but the stigma remained. Beyond law, the word carried social venom. William the Conqueror was mocked as William the Bastard. Shakespeare gave us Edmund in King Lear, raging at the injustice of being branded illegitimate. In England between 1660 and 1834, illegitimacy meant shame, gossip, and exclusion, though families often tried to soften its impact. By the 20th century, laws began to change. The UK's Legitimacy Act of 1926 gave rights to illegitimate children, but the word itself lived on, not in courts, but in conversation. Psychologist Timothy J. calls it a mid-range swear word, less taboo than racial slurs, but sharp enough to wound. Linguist Magnus Leung places it among identity-based insults, words that strike at honor, legitimacy, and respect. Today, studies show bastard is losing some of its sting. On screen, in politics, in everyday argument, it has become shorthand for cruelty or betrayal, more than birth status. But its history still echoes with every use. So what is a bastard? A word born of medieval politics, a label once written into law, a stigma carried by mothers and children, and now a survivor in our language, stripped of its legal power but not of its bite. It is proof that words outlive the worlds that created them, proof that language remembers long after we've forgotten. Thanks again for tuning in.
If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome content.